Here are 7 things in our Airbnb out in Joshua Tree, California that just make sense. Number 1, no TV.
This was a big thing that we kind of wanted to push for because the whole point of coming out away from the city is to just disconnect.
Yeah.
So the awesome thing about this house is that there are giant windows that kind of act as like picture frames and stuff like that. So you don't really need TV because sunset, sunrise, just
our windows face the sunrise, our front windows and our back windows face the sunset.
Yeah.
And you just curl up on the couch and chat with friends. You don't even realize that a TV's not in the house. The house really makes you want to just put on a record or like read a book. And
yeah. So we're encouraging the disconnect, which I think is, it's obviously something that might deter people, but we're catering towards a specific audience that needs to disconnect. And so between the big windows, a lot of records, and we put a ton of books throughout the house that are really interesting.
Curated.
Books that we've loved reading, books about Native Americans, books about the area.
Books about artists that we love, books that we've read physically, like there are copies of the books and we put them in the home.
Yeah.
So that was really important to us because we have expanded our minds over the last few years, and it's fun to see people comment about the books in our house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we also have lots of games to play.
Yeah. Lots of board games as well. Well, and a guest just left us a review that they had a backgammon tournament with our backgammon board, so...
We've never played.
We've never played.
Another thing, labels. We talked about this in our previous video that we did about our first month on Airbnb.
But you can go watch it, link down below.
But it is so important in the house. Everything is pretty much labeled for anyone to know anything, right? You wanted to do the labels, so you kind of take the lead here.
The light switches are confusing. Yeah. That's the one reason I wanted to do it. So some of the light switches go to places that are kind of far away, and like the back door can stick. So like if you turn it, you might think it's locked. So on the door it says use hip if stuck. Just give it a little nudge.
Just give it a nudge. We're on a septic tank, so we have labels on our kitchen sink on the toilet saying like nothing but toilet paper down the sink, no food down the sink in the kitchen.
Toilet paper down the sink?
Oh, sorry. No food down the sink, nothing but TP down the toilet. We don't want to have any issues, and the tenant sure as heck doesn't want to have that issue while they're here.
Yeah.
So we just make sure to label all the things.
Yeah, and like we said in the previous video, we have not received one comment really on how to use anything or like what to do, and I think it's because we've just labeled everything. Mm-hmm. So labels just make sense in our Airbnb.
So we are a musical family, and we both grew up loving music. Michael is a musician. He's a songwriter and producer, so it just made sense that in our home, whether it's where we're living or sharing with others, there would be musical instruments. Mm-hmm. So we've got a piano, we've got a guitar, and it's just a place you create.
Yeah.
So we wanted others to feel like they could come and create here too.
Yeah, I think that, we've had guests specifically book the place because it has a piano. And I know it's a thing that probably Airbnbs don't do because tuning a piano is a whole thing. Yeah. But I learned how to tune a piano. It's really not that hard. Yeah. Being able to, if you take the guitar out by the campfire or, you play music with friends, we're trying to encourage that kind of activity. Mm-hmm. And it's a great photo piece as well. The guitar works great as decor and functional pieces.
Next up, this is kind of your area of expertise, but the lockbox that we have outside just in case our smart lock on the front door fails.
Yeah, so we kind of, I would wake up in the middle of the night before we put this place on Airbnb thinking about all of the things that could go wrong. If you do that as well, let me know.
So nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So when we installed the smart lock, I was like, I don't trust technology. What if the power goes out? What if the batteries die in it? Any of those things.
We're out of town. Who knows?
Yeah. So the good thing is when our real estate agent, when we bought the house, they forgot their lockbox. So we just had a lockbox sitting around. So what we've done is we've hid a lockbox on the side of the house with the keys just in case.
Yeah.
And
the guy never came back for it, just by the way, and our real estate agent told us to keep it. So if you're watching this, I apologize, and we'll buy a new lockbox and you can have it. Yeah. But we utilize it to our advantage.
I think that just makes sense. I understand if you don't have any place to like hide it, but there's also
little rocks that you could like stick keys in that I've seen at Home Depot.
Yeah, you can do like a hide a key, but I think a lockbox for the main lock just makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because technology's great, but you can't trust it sometimes.
Okay, making our house feel like a home versus a rental, like short-term rental Airbnb, which can be so sterile and
versus something
uninviting.
That was quickly thrown together.
Our real estate agent called it
like an IKEA
or Home Depot fix, or like
like a quick
Home Depot house
thing. Yeah, we just wanted to avoid, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to up your units and make a bunch of money, that's totally cool. But we wanted it to feel
like our house.
Yeah, or like when you come here, it's your home. Yeah.
So we stock the kitchen with like a bunch of organic spices. Trader Joe's sells them for like $1 something. So that was really important to us because we like to cook ourselves. So we always have olive oil in the house. We have honey. We've got coffee. We've got lots of spices, like I said.
And the big thing is the local coffee. I'm sure a lot of you guys do this if you are hosts, but find a local roaster near you and put it in the house. We have found that if you put the bag and it's sealed, they will think it's a gift and they will take it. That's totally fine. It's just expensive.
Like there goes a $15
Yeah, because it's $15 a bag. So
for the type we're buying.
What you found
is I'll open it and then I'll put a bag clip on top of it. I won't even open it. I'll just fold it over and put a bag clip on it so it looks opened. Mm-hmm. And then people seem to share it with each other, and that's up to their discretion whether they're going to share with other people.
Yeah.
We like to share that with others. And what else did I say? Oh, I've talked about this in the past, but a signature house like smell has been really important to me, because not in the sense of like it smells like someone's house, but just having like Palo Santo is one of our favorite smells. Mm-hmm. So we use this Palo Santo blend from a local shop called Moonwind Trading Co. And we just spritz it on the pillows, kind of like Hollister. I used to work there, so I got that kind of from
like there. An Abercrombie vibe, but
less
relaxing, and
it's very tame.
It actually matches the environment, so when you walk in,
it's not overpowering.
It's part of the experience as well. Yeah. So we just asked our maids to spray it on like a curtain or the couch or something.
Yeah, something super minimal, but just so it's in the air.
Yeah.
Next up, the snake guide. So when we got our house inspected when we were moving in, like when we had just bought the place actually, our inspector was like, you're moving in during the height of snake season. They are hot and horny, or he said something hungry.
No, he said hot and horny because it was the height of mating season. And we were like,
July.
Is there going to be snakes fornicating in our yard? That is not the case.
No. We keep a snake guide just in case, like if somebody sees a red racer or something, they can look at this. It's local to the area, so you know it's like a Mojave Desert snake guide. Mm-hmm. And technically Joshua Tree is the Mojave Desert. Here it is right here. And it will tell you whether they're venomous or not, so that you don't freak out if they aren't venomous and it's just around. Just leave it be.
Yeah, because we did have one run-in with a snake in our garage. I don't know if you saw that. I wasn't sure if it was venomous at first. And did we have this yet?
No, we did not.
We bought this
still working on it.
For that because we didn't want anyone else to experience that here and not know if it was venomous or not.
And it's crazy. Like, you could see a lizard here and there, an iguana, like, not that scary. But, like, when you are near a snake, it's a whole other fear. Like, the way they slither and stuff, the snake guide is worth it. So if you live in the desert, get a snake guide.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, we have bringing nature into the home as, like, decor. Mm-hmm. Basically, we have, like, a walking stick that we used on the ceiling right here, and then we had a log out front that we wanted to make into a coffee table, but it was a little too small, but we were like, oh, it looks kind of cute over here by this bench. So we just have kind of used little pieces from the land and brought it into the house. We have rocks, we have quartz that we found on the property. Mm-hmm. That is all used in the home. What else?
I think one of the biggest things is trying to blend the two, like inside and outside, so it feels like it's not like when you walk into the house you're away from where you are. We want it to kind of like translate through, so we added like cholla branches we found in the backyard, in the kitchen, and like stumps that we found on the property.
Walking stick we used to bring with us during the summer.
We saw coyotes, and so we brought a stick with us, and then we decided to use it as decor. So don't be afraid to bring the outside in. I mean, for a while we used a branch from one of the creosote bushes as art above a bed. So all that kind of stuff, I think it just adds to the character.
And just the natural element of like being in the desert. I don't know.
Yeah.
We love it. I think that's it.
Yeah, so those are the things that we've done to our Airbnb that just make sense out here. It might not make sense to everybody, but hopefully you got something useful out of this. Yeah.
That wraps it up. That makes sense for our Airbnb at this point. If it changes, in a few months, maybe we'll do another video on this. If you have any questions or comments on things, just let us know in the comments.
Or tips that you put in yours that we don't, let us know, because we are at the beginning of our journey. So
it makes the most sense to ask you. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button. It really actually does help. I know hearing people say that is so weird, but it really does help.
Yeah. And if you want to go back and watch the whole series of us renovating this house, just go to our channel and start at the beginning, from us buying the place to us sweating our asses off.
Doing it all ourselves.
Yeah. So, thank you.